that's so cute.
The next adventure into Fantastic Caverns will be ready in 5 minutes.
Nomadic Weather Bear here. We're at Fantastic Caverns just outside of Springfield, Missouri. We're going to take a tour of the caverns. We're going to get a ride in like a Jeep or something. And we're supposed to wait here. So once we get going, I'll redo the film. There's the gift store and only $30 per person. So we're just going to sit down and wait our turn. Should be fun, huh? Go into the cavern. Low bridge. Water dripped on my butt.
Take her picture.
Meal, cup up, meal, smile. Meal, smile. Everybody smile.
Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
5. Okay, we got a low spot up here. I'm going to shine the spotlight on it. And you need to duck. I will tell you to duck. If you don't duck, you'll find out why I told you to duck. Someone ahead of you goes out, and you duck forward. Me duck. Okay, here we go.
You ready to duck, Con?
I'm already short. I don't think it's going to matter.
Not as short as those kids.
On the left, duck your head.
To your side.
That's my side. I'll be ducking my head.
Ow! I know who that was. Now you have to lower it.
Pretty, huh? I'm getting lots of pictures. Watch your head, Con.
Oh, really? Thousands of years ago, there was no cavern here. Water washed away. It was an underground river. Water was running through here. See how smooth the ceiling is? Okay, water was running through here and eventually washed away the limestone. This is all limestone. Now it takes 1,000 gallons of water to wash away 1 pound of limestone. So imagine how much water was going through here. Because it washed it down to here, it kept on going down, washing the limestone away until we got to the riverbed.
The pretty reds and stuff over there. Getting cold yet?
No, I got the drip on it yet.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Remember when a stalactite meets stalagmite, it forms a column or a pillar. Yeah, some people like to say that this is the most perfect cow in the world. Well, Mama raised some ugly, but she didn't raise no dumb ones. That is not a cow. That is a well casing. It was put in 1941. It's covered with calcite now. It used to be black. Yeah, 1941, it drilled 93 feet down and they punched the whole top of the cavern. Yeah, they couldn't just stop because you'd have an 8-inch hole there, that 8-inch person drop right down through it. So the owner of the cavern said, go ahead and drill until you get water. Well, they got water about 50 feet.
Lots of pictures. I'll just send them to you for Facebook. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
Wow. It's gonna fall on their head.
It's been up here a while.
Now, in 1862, a man named John Knox, when he owned this land, he had no idea that he had a cavern under here. He just knew he owned the property. Yeah, 1862, him and his dog Juno was hunting. And Juno went and jumped up a critter and chased him into a hole in the hillside. But once he got in there, he couldn't find his way out. He couldn't find his way out because he was in total darkness. There's two places in the world you have total darkness, and that is the bottom of the ocean and in a cavern. Now, y'all put your phones down where there's no light showing. I'm going to put you all in total darkness, and you'll see what Juno saw, and you'll see why he couldn't find his way out. So, 1, 2, 3. Total darkness. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Now, keep your mind's eye. Watch this. Here's what they done. Put in the indirect light. Completely different cavern. You see the whites from calcite, the browns from iron, the grays from magnesium. It's just a whole completely different spot. Now, we're going to go look at the bottom of the cavern here now. Any questions? All right, we're going to look at the bottom of the cavern. Okay, y'all can stand up if you want. You can see. This is the bottom of the cavern. Now, we've explored for 1 mile up here. Down at the bottom, it was explored for 3.5 miles. So we have 4.5 miles in this cave system. Now, the gentleman says, where did the water go? Well, this is a riverbed right here. And over the years, the water went down and down until we wound up with the dry riverbed. That's why it's called a wet weather. During this rainy season, when we have a lot of rain, they fill up the sinkholes around here. We have some around the airport, we have some around here. When they fill up with water in the sinkhole, it goes down and eventually gets down into the underground river. That's why it's called a wet weather river.
I can't film it, you know.
go right up here is a big old rock on the right-hand side. It does not move. So, if you're on the right-hand side, that's our head.
No money, no honey.
That's right.
1862, John Knox went and discovered the cavern and covered it up. And here's why he covered it up. Because of the Civil War. Now during the Civil War, the government could take anything they wanted. It's called martial law. And that's the way it is in any war. Well, they wanted caves especially. So he covered it up until 1867 and the war was over. And had young ladies who went and explored it. Now, the reason that the government wanted caves was because, one, they're dry, they're cool, they can put their hospitals in here, their supplies, they can hide troops in here. But the big thing they wanted it for was bats. They wanted large colonies of bats. Now, Tennessee's got like 360 some caves that they mine guano out of. We've got 30 to 39 because they wanted the guano. Now, if you got a large colony of bats, you've got a lot of guano under. We have bats here, but our bats here are about the size of your thumb with 3 to 5 inch wingspan. They're called tricolor bats, or 3 colors. They look like a fuzzy flying chicken McNugget. They ain't very big, and we only got about 30 of them. So if you only got 30 little bitty chicken nuggets, you ain't gonna have much guano. They wanted it because, and think about it now, you know, I mean, how important can poop be? Yeah, well, it's very important. So what they done, if you had large colonies of bats, they would build a leaching bin up near the entrance to the cabin. And they'd fill that leaching bin up with guano and the dirt underneath it because it was fertilized by the guano. And they'd fill that bin up. Once you got it filled up, and we don't really have guano in there. There's no water in there. And that water would leach through all that guano and dirt, and it'd pick up the potassium nitrate, the calcium, and all the other elements in there. And it would come out in this bucket like a real muddy sludge. So they'd pour it in a big vat, and they'd pour water in there. Then they'd build a fire in it. Now, I've probably been good at that back there because I built a good fire. See?
You're good, Larry.
I'm good. Now, what they'd do was they'd get that water boiling, and they'd take a shovel, and they'd shovel out the wood ash, or the potash, as they call it. And they'd put it in there, and they'd stir it around and keep the fire going until all the water went evaporated. Once it evaporated, you'd have a white crystal-like substance. That substance would be called saltpeter. They'd take that and they'd grind it up into a fine powder. They'd mix that with sulfur, and then they'd mix it with carbon or charcoal. And what do you think they did? Gunpowder, exactly. So now, going from bat poop to gunpowder, that's a big step. Now, whoever had the most caves had the most gunpowder. So you can see how important bats was for the Civil War. Now remember, they didn't have Walmarts or Bass Pro or Dick's Sporting Goods. They had to make their own. So they had to make their gunpowder. Whoever had the most caves had the most gunpowder. Now, in 1929 to 1931, we had another big event. It wasn't the Civil War, but it was pretty close to it. It was called Prohibition. That's where the government made alcohol illegal. Yeah. You don't tell the country boy that something is illegal, because he's gonna do it one way or the other. So, now think about it. Has any of y'all tasted the moonshine? I've tasted the moonshine. I'm so thankful that Prohibition ended, because moonshine is deadly. I mean, it's rough.
You're welcome. Tour coming in.